Welcome to our coverage of the Louisiana runoff elections. I'm Fred Childers.
I'm Harrison Golden. A lot to get to today, of course, with the mayoral race. We got a congressional race in the mix, Metro Council, so a little of everything for everybody's appetites. But we will start with Crystal Whitman. She's live at the Clerk of Court's office in East Baton Rouge Parish with the very latest. A lot to cover, Crystal. Good evening.
Hey guys, good evening to you as well. We're here and everything is starting to wrap up. Those polling locations are about to close right now at 8 o'clock. They did open this morning at 7 a.m. and the precincts worked so hard this year to make sure that they held this runoff election in the safest way they could because of the coronavirus, because of the pandemic. They did everything from making sure that the polling locations were clean. They also made sure that people were wearing masks and people also practiced social distancing 6 feet apart. They also encourage people to come to the polling locations prepared.
All right, Crystal Whitman there. Thank you so much. We're going to hear a little bit more from her later on tonight. Of course, we're going to have updates all night long here.
And speaking of updates, we have on the phone with us John Couvion with JMC Analytics and Polling. He'll be watching these numbers all night with us remotely from a different part of the state. John, if you're on the phone with us, hello.
Yes. How are you doing tonight, Fred?
Great, great. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you helping us out tonight and looking at these numbers coming in. Specifically, what are you looking for in the mayor's race for East Baton Rouge Parish?
So there's two things I'm interested in with regards to the mayor's race. The first is the early vote, because that is about half of the entire vote that will be cast, and it's going to come in as one lump sum number. So I'm interested in seeing to what extent Mayor Broome has improved over the primary. And then, of course, I'll be doing the same exercises in different parts of the parish as the precinct vote comes in, starting right about now.
Right, and you had mentioned, I've spoken to you before about this, you believe Mayor Broome, the incumbent, and the Democrat is in the driver's seat in this election.
I do, for the simple reason that she received 48% of the primary vote, and another Democrat in the race received an additional 7%. So she starts off with a 55% head start, and the early voting was more Democratic friendly than it was in the primary.
Okay, John, we're not finished with you yet. We want to ask you a couple more questions later on the website.
Right, exactly. The website,
Perfect.
it is for that, brproud.com, of course. NBC Local 33, we're going to continue our coverage there a little bit later on, but right now we're still online here. And John, again, a question as we're doing these numbers right now. In particular, as you said just now, Mayor President Broome getting 48% last time. Of course, turnout was unprecedented last time around, in part because of the mail-in ballots, in part because really just the big press, full court press when it comes to the presidential race, Senate, etc. This time around, not necessarily as many voters. So I guess the question now, not necessarily who will come out of this on top, but what do you see the margins being at this point?
Well, the way I look at it is the breakdown of the primary, where Mayor Broome got 48%, Denise Marcel got 7%, that to me is kind of the driving factor in the runoff, in addition to the fact that the black percentage of the runoff early vote was about 5% higher than it was in the primary. So that theoretically puts Mayor Broome near 60%.
Yeah, and for the record, I believe, John, if I'm correct here on these numbers, 205,000 voters in East Baton Rouge Parish for that mayor's race last time. Be interesting, once this is all done, to see what kind of final number here. Do you have any sort of projection on voter turnout overall in the parish?
East Baton Rouge Parish, I think, is going to be about 30% turnout. So we're talking 80 to 90,000 voters, of whom 38,000 have already been cast through early and absentee voting.
All right, just set you up with another race here, John. We also have the U.S. Representative 5th Congressional District race that we are watching very closely, and that pits Lance Harris, a Republican, against fellow Republican Luke Letlow. What sort of dynamics are you looking for in this race? Do you think you'll be able to call this one pretty soon?
A lot depends on, so for that race, what I'm going to be interested in seeing is, based on what Luke Letlow and what Lance Harris got in each parish in the primary, to what extent will each candidate improve on those numbers in the runoff? Because this is a Republican-on-Republican race, so it has more of a geographical undertone to it this time.
And John, the impression I get here with that race is there are a lot of Democrats. Again, they don't have a candidate of their own in this fight right now, Republican versus Republican, but It does seem, at least unofficially from my observations, that Democrats have gotten behind Mr. Letlow at this point. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that would be the impression I would have. And so it'll be interesting to see what numbers they turn out, because obviously some of them will vote today.
Let's switch a little bit to the campaign of the 5th Congressional District. I think the AP the other day described this as a GOP slugfest. And I'm guessing it's because of some of the on-air ads. Did you see it?
Right. It's just your standard, when you get into the runoff, things tend to get more testy because one candidate certainly wants to get the advantage over the other. So, standard campaign stuff.
Right. Do you see that sort of thing favoring one candidate more than the other?
Well, because you're talking about both of them being Republicans, it's a case of which one's attacks attract more Democratic voters.
And it seems like, again, John, feel free to agree or disagree with me on this one here. A lot of the impressions here is that Mr. Harris, in many ways, is at least a little bit more coming off as the more, blue-collar candidate here, whereas Mr. Letlow coming in as more of somebody who understands policy, understands the inner workings of Capitol Hill as by virtue of his chief of staff part here. So that could be, if nothing else, on policy they certainly seem to agree, but the style, of course, John, definitely something a little different here.
Sure. Yeah, and John, if you would just hang with us for a little bit. I think we have something you would be interested in, early voting numbers for the mayor's race.
Yeah, I'm interested too.
Oh, okay. What was the percentage of the mayor's race?
Well, right now, again, these are just the first numbers we're seeing. So, again, this is the first of many right now. But as of this count, about 23,000 for the incumbent. Of course, Democratic Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome putting her at the moment at 61. Again, this is 8:07. Polls closed at 8, so very early here. 39% for State Representative Steve Carter, the Republican challenger here. So we'll see if that changes at this point. But, the numbers are starting to come in. And, John, how quickly do you see those numbers coming in, or do you project those numbers will come in this time?
So what that means in plain terms is that the Democratic vote for the early vote for the primary was 58%, and for Mayor Broome to be getting 61%, that basically is very good for her. The question mark will then become, will Steve Carter have a strong early precinct vote, rather, to overcome that?
Yeah, I think both of them had some pretty strong messages with their campaign, and they did a pretty good job differentiating themselves from one another. Obviously, Carter wanted to shake things up and be the different candidate, and Mayor Broome obviously running on her record.
One factor coming into play here the past few days, I believe it was just yesterday, Tara Licker, the Metro Councilwoman, Democrat, had her own ambitions here in this fight, ultimately unable to endure or go through her run at this point for Mayor President. She and the Mayor President Broome right now have had some tensions, and ultimately that manifesting yesterday in her endorsement of Steve Carter. So we'll see if that comes into play at all with any sort of crossover votes here.
Yeah, it's something that happens in Louisiana. We've seen it even in the gubernatorial race.
Oh yeah, and have.
Yeah, absolutely. So very interesting to watch. Absolutely. All right. So that does it for us.